welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing another episode of guitar lessons, and I'm going to be continuing this guitar series for as long as I can. I want to be able to teach and record everything that I've learned so far. And if you guys have any questions, please make sure to put them down in the comments. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share, and let's get started with the lesson. So today we're going to be talking about strings in detail, frets, and we're just going to go in more in depth about both of those things. So like I said in the last video, I went over it very vaguely. There are 6 strings in guitar. And when we're counting them, we will count them from the bottom. And then there's 2 ways to say it with the actual notes. So for example, this would be first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. And the names of these, when we usually say the names of these, we're going to be going from top to bottom, the opposite. So it's going to go E, which is, there's 2 E's. So this one's E major. So E major. The next one's A. The next one's D. The next one's G. The next one's B. And the last one is E minor. Now, to make sure that they actually sound like what they're sounding, you need to make sure that they're on tune, and I went in complete detail about tunings, and yeah, I went in complete detail about tunings in the last video, so make sure to go check that out. So I showed you the 6 strings. Now there's an acronym to remember these. That would be Eddie, A Dynamite, Goodbye Eddie, and there's no acronym for going upwards, but you want to make sure that you remember them both ways, going down and going up, because in some sheet music it'll say it according from up, and in some sheet music it'll be according to down. To have that complete flexibility of playing it, you want to make sure that you have them memorized both ways. So if I go from down to top, so it would be E, B, G, D, so that's what it's gonna sound like. Make sure that when you sing them, they sound, when you're playing them, they sound kind of in sync. So when you're going kind of fast, like down, they sound that none of the strings are going too far from the other one, or they're not sounding exactly the same. For example, if it was in tune, it would sound like this. And when I play that, we can hear that the strings and the sound of it are not too far from each other, and they're not too close to each other. There's the perfect amount of, the notes are not that far apart, so you can see that. Now there are metal strips on the guitar fretboard. There's all these, and the reason that they're there is to mark frets. So it would be 1st fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 4th fret, and so on. Now I don't know if I told you this already, but there are 4 fingers that we play with. The index finger is this first finger. The 2nd finger is the 2nd finger. The ring finger is the 3rd finger, and the pinky is the 4th finger. And they will rest on the frets, their own frets, individually like this, and the thumb goes on the back like this to support the guitar. So when you're playing music, you want to make sure that your fingers are on to their accommodating fret. Now obviously you can move around as well, so you might be going here to play something, and moving around. The frets are there, so as you put on frets, the note gets higher, but the note does not change. And however, the capo will change the note. So if you guys don't know anything about the capo, you can also go check out the video. It is on my channel. But for now, let's stick with just fingers. So for example, this would be a regular E minor. However, if I go 3 frets up, this would be a 3 fret up E minor. Technically, they're not E minors anymore because there's a thing called scales. So for example, if this is E minor, we're not going to actually say E minor, we're just going to say E. The next note might be F. And like I said, if I went 3 frets up, it would be E, F, F sharp, G. So the 3rd fret is G. Now, the scales are said like this. So A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, and G sharp. And then you continue with the cycle again. And all of the notes are gonna have a separate note with a sharp on it that is called a half a note. And the only letters that do not have a sharp will be B and E. So as you noticed, I called all of their sharps, but not E's and B's because they do not have, the sharps. So if I were to play E on, let's say the, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I were to play E on the 5th fret, this would actually be a different note. It wouldn't be E anymore, and we would count up the frets. So if this is E, and then F sharp, G sharp, A. So the 5th fret of E would be A note. And just so you guys know, when we're playing strings without any fingers on the frets, that's called an open string. And when we do have a finger on the fret, that is called a closed string. So open string, closed string. And even if we're all the way down here, that is still a closed string because we still have our hand on our fret. And we can count up like that. And to practice this, you want to make sure that you'll have a random person in your family, your friend, or whoever basically, tell them to tell you a random note, and you're gonna put the time stopwatch on. And while the stopwatch is on, you're gonna mark that note in each of the strings and mark that time, and make sure that the time gets reduced as much as you practice. That is very important because when you start doing melodies and leads, knowing the scales from the top of your head is very important. You don't need to memorize them, but having them at the tips of your fingers is also very important. So that's that. And you'll notice that if you put your guitar sideways, the way that you're looking at it, you'll notice that there are dots on the black strip of guitar. And those dots are not there just for decoration or anything. They're to help you play the guitar. So the first dot marks the 3rd fret, the second dot marks the 5th fret, and so on like that. And the dots are also here as well. So dot, 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 dot. And you'll notice that the last one is all the way here, but the 3rd to last one, so these are the frets, and the 3rd to last one will have 2 double dots, as you can see. 2 dots here, and the 2 dots are here as well. So the double dots is to indicate that when you come on the double dot fret, the note should be the same as the open string note, but much, much higher. For example, if I were to play, let's say B, and I'm going to count down the frets, and just to show you that it would land on here. So B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, and B, and the B landed on the double dots as you saw. So those are the scales, and to mark the scales, there are different ways that you could do it. And another thing that you want to note is there is a specific pattern for doing minor scales and major scales. So if I wanted to do an F major scale, I would go to F string, which there is none. I forgot that. So let's pretend that we're doing A major string. So there are specific patterns to it, which I will post in another video. And in the video, there will be minor and major. So that's all for today's lesson. I hope you learned something new. Make sure to comment, subscribe, like, and share. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.